Responding to my community, again, I do that. I have to get my cat off my lap. She was being a pain in the ass. Hello, hello. So, I have something I want to discuss. It's this YouTube comment here. It says, it's only good for people who don't really get into fighting games, but advising someone who wants to get better at fighting games to buy a Mayflash isn't really ideal. It's best to buy a second-hand mid-range stick that has premium parts, compatible plug-and-play to consoles, and is sturdy. I know it's second-hand, but the quality is still the same as a brand new one since mid-range sticks are meant to be durable. So, here's my biggest issue with this take. What he means is the PS4 compatible stick, so that it'll be compatible with PS5, which is good. I think that is kind of smart, because most people kept telling me to tell people to buy PS3 and Xbox 360 sticks, which I think is, quite frankly, unless you're on PC, is fucking stupid. If you don't need compatibility for offline play, for a PS5, for locals, as it were, or majors, and you want the cheapest way to get into fighting games, I'm going to tell you to buy a fucking Mayflash F101. I've been over this 1,000 times. A Mayflash does not feel that different from a Sanwa when it comes to the lever and the buttons. When you buy a Sanwa lever and you buy Sanwa buttons, you will notice a mild increase in performance / comfortability of the parts. It's like $30 fucking or $40. You don't have to scour the online market for it. You don't have to worry about buttons being broken or levers being worn out and the board potentially being compromised. I am not going to recommend to a first-time arcade stick buyer, regardless of their skill level in a game or their prospects of becoming a great, I'm not going to recommend them something used. Because the same way that you wouldn't recommend a first-time PC builder used parts and to build their own fucking PC, you're not going to recommend that to a new arcade stick user. You're going to turn them off from the genre, and they're going to go back to pre-built or go back to pads and never listen to anyone like us again. You have to let people ease their way into the idea of customizing their stick or customizing their computer or building their own computer. You wouldn't recommend an old, beat-up, used house to a first-time home buyer so that they can fix it up. You wouldn't do that. Especially to someone who doesn't have money to immediately invest into repairing walls, electrical, outlets, plumbing, foundation. You wouldn't recommend that to them if they don't have the know-how or the money. If you don't have the money to upgrade an arcade stick, if something is wrong and you buy it used, why the fuck would you buy a used arcade stick? I have a Hori Rap 4 Silent or whatever. I've had it for a really long time. I've seen Hori Rap 4s, like regular Hori Rap 4s, regularly on sale on eBay for like $70, $80. They come with Hayabusa parts, not Sanwa. But Hayabusa parts are pretty solid. They're not the worst thing in the world. They're a lot better than, you know, standard off-the-shelf, really shitty arcade stick button. Okay, like some Fisher Price type shit. But if those buttons are going out or that lever is going out, now you have to replace them, which means that $7 investment just turned into $100 investment, $110 investment. When this is brand new off the shelf, won't have fucked up parts, has a warranty for $40. And if you don't need console compatibility, I want to make this very clear. If you don't need console compatibility, this argument of buying a used PS4 stick or a used Xbox One arcade stick, if your local uses Xbox Series consoles for some reason, is an invalid moot point. It means fucking nothing. It means jack all. If you need those things, yes, maybe look a little further and go deeper. Go deeper, find out what you can afford in those prices. That's worth it. But at that point, I'm going to tell you to buy the Hori Fighting Stick Alpha for like $200. I'm going to be like, yo, just buy the Hori Alpha. You need a PS5 arcade stick, you need an Xbox Series X or S arcade stick, buy the Hori Alpha. That's what I'm going to tell you. I'm always going to recommend new to people. I'm not going to recommend used. I can't do it because I'm not going to be the one you come back to and click my review and say, it's your fault. Sure, I mean, do your due diligence, do your research, but the bigger point is most people don't know what to research when it comes to used arcade sticks. I could put out a guide on that, but I can't put out a guide on every single potential problem that used arcade sticks could have. the board not working anymore, the specific USB subset not working when it comes to old Mad Cat sticks on PC without proper applications or adapters, how to change out buttons or levers or boards. I could do all of that, but then that's more of a time investment, more of a money investment, when you could just start on this. And if you like this, you could hand it over to your little brother, your little cousin, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, and then you can get yourself a better stick, or you can customize this one until it no longer suits your needs. I am a big fan of telling people to start at the bottom and work their way up. And when I say work your way up, I mean start at the bottom, and then if you really like arcade sticks, buy something better, something bigger, that you think will suit your purposes, right? I'm not going to tell you to go from a Conba drone to a Conba crystal to a Conba obsidian to a Conba dragon. I'm going to tell you, hey, if you liked that Conba drone and you want a big, heavy arcade stick that doesn't fit in a fucking bag and you can kill someone with if you swing it across their head, I'm going to tell you to get the dragon. If you're like, well, I want something more mid-rangey, it's like a tournament level arcade stick with good quality parts, I would tell you to get the Obsidian, right? This is PS4 generation. If you had the drone and then you're like, well, I want something kind of flashy that looks nice and very anime-esque, but is still a pretty solid arcade stick, I would say, okay, upgrade from that to the Crystal. That's what I would tell you. So if you're like, well, I like the Mayflash, but I want something a little better that's still kind of small, I would say, hey, go buy the Conba drone and put it in the Conba drone 2, which I don't think is a great value arcade stick, but go buy the Conba drone 2 and pop in some Sanwa buttons. And they're like, oh no, I don't know how to do that. Hey, there's tons of guides. You've owned this arcade stick. You've changed the buttons and the lever on this one already because they went out 6 months into use. I believe in you, you'll figure it out. I'm not going to tell you to do it right away, because that's what buying used could potentially entail. You could go on eBay, you could go on Marketplace, you could go on Mercari, you could go on OfferUp and be like, hey, does this stick have working buttons? And they're like, yeah, they work. And then you use it for a week, and then the buttons start to go out because the stick is old. Well, they worked. They didn't lie to you. But they didn't work for very long. Now you have to change them. This one's brand new in box with warranty. These buttons are going to work longer. Those buttons could work for 2 days. These buttons are not only going to work for 2 days. No matter what you say, no matter what you think about Mayflash and proprietary hardware and non-Sanwas, it's going to work for a lot longer than that. I will never recommend used to people unless they already have background in, what up, Creeper? Unless they already have background or experience in the medium. I'm not going to recommend used hardware. I'm not going to do it. But if you want to delve into the used hardware market, I'm sure you could find tons of people on Reddit Fight Sticks, on r/Fight Sticks, that will be willing to help you out when it comes to finding good deals for arcade sticks. I'm on r/Fight Sticks. I'm a big fan of that subreddit. It's like my favorite subreddit to look at. But if you're looking for something new, you're looking for something cheap, and you're looking to very easily and simply get into the arcade stick culture, the arcade stick cult, I'm going to recommend the Mayflash F101 all day, every day. Anyways, this has been Beanie Thuggish for the YouTubes, signing out and saying peace.